let's get on to the news, like we always do here on Movies 102. Um, excuse me. Sorry. There we go. Excuse me. Sorry. Anyway, let's move on. All right. So the first news item of today is kind of interesting for all you guys who probably like him. Eli Roth will be making his return to directing after 5 long years. His last movie was Hostel 2 that he directed. The movie he's going to direct will be called Green Inferno, a new film that he co-wrote with somebody else, and it's a original story by Eli Roth. Reports are claiming the film will shoot in Peru and Chile this fall, and beyond that, the plot and casting decisions are being held under lock and key as of the moment, like a lot of other projects that are doing that. I think it's interesting. I mean, Eli Roth. I know a lot of people like Eli Roth and like him as a director and everything else. But personally for me, I mean, I find him okay. I mean, I liked Hostel. Don't get me wrong. I liked Hostel, the first one. I actually never saw the second one. The stuff he's produced has been pretty interesting. I mean, the last thing I remember him producing was The Last Exorcism, which was a decent enough movie. But he's also gone on and done acting stuff. He was in Piranha 3D, and he was in Inglourious Basterds. So he hasn't completely disappeared off he hasn't completely disappeared off the face of the planet, which was what I was trying to say. So there you go. If you're happy about Eli Roth returning, there you go. Moving on. Mike Sampson says he's developing a sequel to MacGruber. For those of you who remember MacGruber, whether you were a fan of the movie or the SNL skit, which was how it originated, with director Jorma Tukuna, I'm pretty sure I'm pronouncing that wrong, and star Will Forte, who starred in MacGruber. The first film didn't do very well at the box office when it opened in 2010. But they seem optimistic that a sequel is necessary. Say what you will about that. I'm not gonna lie. I actually did find MacGruber funny. It had its moments where it was really funny. At the same time, it was overly it was pretty cheesy to the point. But I mean, it was funny enough that I was like, I can get past this. Anyway. The director, Jorma Takun, I'm still probably pronouncing his name wrong, says it would be me, Will, and John Solomon writing it again. Every time I hang out with Will, we talk about our cool ideas for the sequel. We have an idea for it. We have a title, but I won't tell you what it is. No word yet on when the film will actually hit theaters. As both of them, Tortun, the guy I keep pronouncing his name wrong, and Will Forte have other projects working at the moment. So we're going to have to wait a while for MacGruber 2 if you're a fan of MacGruber. Next up, Alex Proyas, who directed Dark City, The Crow, I, Robot, and Knowing. Not in that order. Oh, actually, in that order. No, wait, The Crows was first. Never mind. That's just the geeky side of me. Anyway, is in talks to direct and co-write a summit picture called Gods of Egypt, which is a fantasy set against the legendary world of Great Pyramids and Sphinxes. Details on the project say it follows a common thief and a god on a magical quest. So there you go. I like Alex Proyas. I mean, he was set to do, what was it, Paradise Lost, which is based off the epic poem, but stuff fell through and he couldn't do any more, so he's moving on. Anyway, Sony Pictures announced earlier this week that Oscar-winning screenwriter Aaron Sorkin, who wrote The Social Network, that's kind of what he's really big for. He's also written other stuff, but I think for the movie purposes, The Social Network, will write an adaptation of Walter Isaac's biography, Steve Jobs. Sorkin revealed that the film won't be a standard biopic that some are expecting, saying, "I know so little about what I'm going to write. I know what I'm not going to write. It can't be a straight-ahead biography because it's very difficult to shake the cradle to the grave structure of a biography." Sorkin also revealed that Apple co-founder Steve how to pronounce his name wrong. Wolnatska? That's totally wrong. Anyway, has been brought into the development phase to tutor, quote unquote, the scribe on all the technical aspects of computers and on Jobs himself. The co-founder was present in all the key Apple moments in Jobs' life and kept in touch with the inventor up until his immediate death. Now, I know some people probably know about the biography that Ashton Kutcher is involved in. That is a completely different movie about Steve Jobs. These are two different ones. Aaron Sorkin, I guess this is considered the official one. The other one, the one Ashton Kutcher, I think it's based off on just one section of his life. I don't remember what section it was, but that's what it was. Excuse me. Let's move on. Guillermo del Toro, the man who bought us Pan's Labyrinth and the Hellboy movies, announced last week that he and Mark Gustafson would be co-directing Del Toro's 3D stop-motion animated take on Pinocchio. Now the next step will be picking out a voice cast. While no one has officially been signed on, Del Toro has let it slip that he already has a few names in mind for the movie. Among them are Christopher Walken, which needs no introduction, Tom Waits, I can't read today apparently, and Donald Sutherland, of course, just starring the Hunger Games as President Snow. Del Toro added that he was also approached. He didn't approach him. He was approached by Daniel Radcliffe, which of course, Harry Potter, who was very interested in getting involved. Del Toro didn't mention who the young actor would play, but the obvious guess would be he would be playing the title character of Pinocchio. With production slated to begin this summer, Del Toro also confirmed that the picture will be still on track for a 2014 release. The shooting for the movie is estimated to take about a year, as the director noted stop motion takes a very long time to gather footage, which is true. The Raid, or as it's titled here in America, The Raid Redemption. I don't know why. Director Garth Evans discussed the future of the franchise at Kapow, which is a convention over in London, which a few of our news items actually came from Kapow. During the Momentum showcase at the comic convention, the Welsh director explained his involvement in the American remake as well as its upcoming sequel, because they are remaking The Raid here in America, which is kind of sad. However, I do know this one piece of information. I don't know if it's actually public, and by public I mean, websites. Although websites don't usually give the small details on who's involved. I met the fight choreographer for The Raid. Is actually a fight choreographer that I met. He's done the fight choreography for the Mortal Kombat web series. He was involved in Black Dynamite, Bunraku, which I don't know if a lot of you guys know what Bunraku is, but he was involved in that. He's done a lot of stuff, and the guy's name is Leonardo Stoville. If I mispronounce his name, I'm sorry, because he does look like he will beat me up. It's a clean radio version, I can say. But yeah, I mean, when I found that he was involved, I really thought I'm finally behind this project. But anyway, back to the news story. His involvement. He said the remake will incorporate some changes, as the original was a movie in a foreign language with a star nobody knew and a director nobody knew, which is essentially true. The Raid did find a crowd here in America, by the way, so like this guy. Anyway, it won't be anything too drastic though, as Evans is on board as an executive producer, and the Indonesian star from the first film, Iko. I'm not even gonna try to say his name. Will be choreographing the action. While fans may be sad that not see him to helm, while fans may be sad that he's not helming the remake, he did say that I'm not remaking it myself. My approach is to be hands off. In order for them to do a job properly, they need to be given the freedom. Which, it's true, and it's unfortunately a lot of people don't realize that. They want the original actor back. They want the original actors back, but sometimes you do have to step away from stuff like that, especially from a foreign aspect, when you're making foreign movies, that is. The good news is that this leaves Evans to focus on getting the attention of a sequel to the Raid, which has been properly called Brendel, which I think means thug in Indonesian. I don't know. Or yeah, I think he means thug. He was doing interviews after the Raid came out, and he was talking about it. Anyway. But he's saying he's got to work on that, and he wishes the best of luck to everybody involved in the Raid remake. So, there you go. If you haven't seen the Raid, get a copy of it somewhere, or wait till it comes out on DVD, because it's a really good movie. It really is. Yeah, let's give these last news items, then we'll go to break. Here's an interesting one. Here's what I found interesting. Castle Sky Pictures has announced during the and the rest of the news items also come from the Cannes Film Festival. Crystal Sky Pictures has announced during the Cannes Film Festival that Dwight H. Little's live-action fighting video game film Tekken will be getting a prequel titled Tekken: The Rise of the Tournament, and probably, no wait, that's not probably. I added a word that has no meaning in this. I added a word that's nowhere in the story. Anyway, Rise of the Tournament, and director from Ong Bak, the Tony Jaa movie, kind of Tony Jaa's first real big movie. The director of that will be involved. I'm not even going to try to pronounce his name, so don't even bother. He will be directing the project. With an experience within the martial arts genre, it would seem right that he would be the man for the job. With no cast attached as of yet, Crystal Sky aims to find actors who appear like the characters in the game rather than casting A-list stars, which is sometimes a good thing and sometimes a bad thing. The production company is also planning for a theatrical release in North America. However, no distribution deal has been placed, nor a release date has been set. Now, here's my thing with the Tekken movie. The first Tekken movie, which is on DVD if you want to watch it. If you're a video game fan, you probably know a little bit more Tekken. Or if you know of Tekken, you kind of know what's going on. Anyway, Tekken in itself is I saw the movie, and being a fan of the video game, or a decent fan of the video game, I have to say the movie was okay. It wasn't amazing. It wasn't terribly horrible, but it was a straight to DVD movie. Sadly, the way I don't know. I didn't like the way they portrayed some of the characters in the film, but that's that comes with a video game movie, because you have to change things. I understand that. I've always said that they're always going to change things, but whatever. Anyway, the fact they're making another one, and with let me know. I'm thinking like two things at the same time. The first movie, it was okay for what it was. That was supposed to get a theoretical release too. Theoretical, of course, I mean in theaters. And it never did, from what I can remember. I don't remember seeing anywhere in theaters. I don't remember seeing a trailer in theaters. Nothing. And maybe that was a good thing. Maybe that's a bad thing. Who knows? But they're making a prequel, which is Rise of the Tournament, which I'm guessing they might make the main character. And this is where I get video gaming on you guys. They might make Heihachi the main character of the movie. Who knows? Or maybe I always forget his name. The other main character before Jin came in, I forgot. I'm not gonna bore you guys with that. But anyway, a prequel would be interesting to see, especially with a director like this, the director of Ong Bak, which is Tony Jaa's first movie again. Would be interesting to see, and the whole thing about casting A-list actors or against people who look like the characters of the game. Again, that can go either way, because the first movie in itself didn't really have A-list actors. It had some actors people knew about, that most of them are either play like they play in movies that either go straight to DVD or have very small roles in other movies, or even have small roles in DVD movies. But I don't know. I find it interesting that they would go that far. Anyway, that being said, I'm gonna take a short break right now. When we come back, continue on with the movie news. Stick around, guys.